में Samatha vipassana-2022
Is it on now?
Yes.
So now we were talking about this Samatha vipassana yoga together serenade inside.
යුගනත් මේ ආකාරය මේ 17ක් තියෙනවා මම මේ අන්තන් නිකන් හැදින්වීමක් කරා.
So yesterday Lokam just like briefly mentioned there are these 17 ways in which they work together.
එතකොට මේ ආරම්භන කියලා කිව්වා මේ උගදින මොනවද කියලා දන්නේ නැහැ. ඉතින් දැන් ආරම්භන කරන විනීත නීතනේ නායෙල්ලෙම දන්නවා. අනිවාර්යයෙන් අනිත්‍යයෙන් ආරම්භන කියන්නේ මොනවද කියලා දන්නේ නැහැ.
So this first number one is called Arambana. Anyway, and Lokam said maybe few people here know what that means, but other people don't know what even that means.
ආරම්භන කියලා කිව්වා මේ ස්කන්නාසාවන්ත ගන්න ආරම්භන පමණක් නෙවෙයි.
So the word Arambana is usually translated as object. So very often it refers to object of the five senses, but here it is not only that. So here actually what's meant by that is one of the things that are in the top left corner, that is the aggregates itself or the elements or the sense bases become the object. So here the aggregates is the form or materiality, vedana, feelings or experiencing, sanya, perceptions, sankara, mental formations, and vijnana, consciousness.
Dhatu ekaydi චක්කු ධාතු, රූප ධාතු, චක්කු විඥාන ධාතු විදිහට
and the element anyway, element is something like basic which cannot be divided further or something like that. So here it especially refers to the element of the form, element of the eye, and element of the eye consciousness, and likewise for the other senses.
ධාතුවේ ස්වභාවය තමයි මේ අතින් අල්ලලා ස්පර්ශය කරන්න පුළුවන් එකද මෙන්න මේ ධාතුවයි කියන්නේ. අතින් අල්ලලා මේ පුළුවන්. එහෙම ස්පර්ශය කරන්න බැරියෝ.
So Lokam says here the word dhatu or element means something that cannot be taken by hand.
නිසත්ව නිජීව ධාතු මාත්‍ර නෙවේ. නිසත්ව නිජීව ධාතු මාත්‍ර නෙවේ. නිසත්ව නිජීව.
So in this chanting very often it is connected together with this there is no being and there is no like something like soul or life, no soul or something like that.
හැබැයි එහෙම දෙයක් මේ ලෝකේ තියෙන ඒ ධාතුන් නිසා මේ තද ගතියට පටවියයි කියනවා පොඩ්ඩක් පස්සේ ඒ ධාතුන් එකතු වෙලා හැදිච්ච දේවල් නේ.
So but there is something like that, and so one aspect of the elements is the four great elements as like solidity or solidity, adhesion, heat, and vibrations or movement and so but always the material things, all the elements come together.
ආයතනයන්ගෙන් තමයි ඒ ධාතු හට ගන්න ආකාරය නැත්නම් ස්කන්ධයක් හට ගන්න ආකාරය දැනගන්නේ තේරුම් ගන්න ආයතන.
අර පටවි කියන්න අර හතරක්ම එකතු වෙලා හැබැයි පටවි වැඩි.
පටවි වැඩි.
So when these four elements, these all the material things, all the four elements are there, but if one of them we say like it is heavy or solid, or this is like watery, or you get the temperature, that means at that point that particular element which we identify with is most prominent out of the four, but all four of them are there. So the next one is ayatana. Ayatana කියන්න
පිට පීතනට. පිට පීතනට හැ කන නාලි ඒ වෙන පිට පීත.
So it's the ayatana or sense, they translate as sense basis. Lokamsa is the place where the mind gets established. That is this the eye, ear, and so on.
දැන් පෙරක් ඇයින උපත්යෙන් නැස් නැහැ. ඒකකොට ඒකන පිට පීතන්නේ.
So some people are born or actually conceived without the faculty of, let's say, seeing. So for them that particular sense base is not working because the mind never gets established. So with others it's the hearing. So for them that one is not there. Or some people cannot taste anything. So. So there are people that have like let's say higher or lower sensitivity in some of these like faculties. So there is a difference of sensitivity in the eye sense base, ear sense base, and so on. So now here this first one of the Yuganata or yoke together, like working together of serenity inside, is by the way of aramana or object. So here again the object is either the khanda or the aggregates or the elements or the sense bases. So through this object, that again here means this specific three, the dependent origination happens. So this understanding the dependent originating does not happen just by just thinking or just like that, but when you kind of reflect on how these aggregates, sense bases and elements are happening, then the understanding of the dependent origination might arise.
Samatha bhavana, vipassana-2022 කියලා මේ දෙකක් තියෙනවා.
So once again we are talking about this yoke together like realization. So the practitioner has both samatha and vipassana aspect of the practice. Both serenity and insight are right. So there are these specific defilements of mind called nivarana or hindrances. So those hindrances are reduced or kind of suppressed. So this suppression or reduction of temporary reduction of hindrances is called samatha or tranquility, calmness or serenity. But when you tame those same things up to the level when they are cut off or broken off completely, that is called insight.
ඒ කඩා දැමීමට උපකාර කරනවට සංයෝජන කියලා කියනවා. සංයෝජන හැදෙද්දී එක එක දේවල් ඒතකොට සංයෝජනයන් තේරුම් ගන්නකොට ඒතකොට නිවන්නට හැදෙන්න තැනක් නැතුව.
So that happens by the eradication of fetters. So comes as this another kind of defilement called fetters, and if you reduce or cut off some of them or partially, corresponding hindrances don't get opportunity to work.
මේ සංයෝජනයන්ගෙන් තමයි අපි මේ සංසාරේ සතර බැඳිලා තියෙන්නේ, එකතු වෙලා තියෙන්නේ.
So this it is through these fetters that we are bound to this round of rebirths, or that we are like that everything's kind of mixed together.
අපි කීප දෙනෙක් ගානකට පිළිගන්න වැඩි දෙනෙක් පිළිගන්නේ.
So of course we now come to know that out of the audience there is maybe a number of people believe in samsara and a number of people might not believe in samsara.
සංසාරයේ සංතරම් බාරෝ නරෝ අපේ නායකෝ ඒක යායාති මගින් තුම සංසාරේ සංතරම් මේ අපි මේකේ ඇවිදිනකොට මේ ජාති ජරා ව්‍යාධි මරණ හදන්නේ සත්වෙක් වෙමි මේ අද එකක් නෙමෙයි මේ ආත්ම එකක් නෙවෙයි සංසාරයේ කියන එක නෙමෙයි මේ ජීවිතයේ එකක් නෙවෙයි.
So the samsara does not refer to this life only, not about this life.
ඒක මහා දීර්ඝ කාලයක් ඉස්සේ මේ හටගන්න එකක්.
So it's something like immensely far in the past that has been like put together and to function.
ඒ සංසාරයේ ඇති ඉපදුනේ නැති මේ ආත්ම භාවයක් නැත්නම් පුනර්භවයක් නැහැ. ඉපදිච්ච නැති.
So if I understand correctly now, Lokman says there is basically no kind of existence we did not have in this round of rebirths.
අපි දෙවියෝ
Suddhavasa Herana.
Okay.
So like we have been all kind of divine beings and Brahma beings and Arupa Brahmas and devils and animals and hungry ghosts and all kind of humans. What the only exception is this, there are these on the level of the fourth jhana special like realms where only the non-returners are reborn. So except for those we have been in every kind of other existence.
රාතන් වහන්සේ කියන්නේ මේ දැක්ක මේ කුරුමිනියේ ගොමුගුඩියක් තල්ලු කරන්නේ. ගොමයි මෙන්න ඒ කුරුමිනියම තල්ලු ඕටක් තල්ලු කරන්නේ.
So there's comes kind of some story. So there is an arahat and he saw this dung beetle like pushing this ball of shit basically.
දැක්කලා මෙයා කල්පනා කරනවා. මෙයා කියන්නේ කුරුමිනිය බෝල් තල්ලු කරලා. දැකලා ඒක දීපත් කරලා හරියට ඒක.
So sorry, so it was not yet arahat. So it was a practicing monk, and after seeing the dung beetle with his dung ball and reflecting on that situation, I must have been like that, and so that incident helped that monk to attain arahatship. So we are still the guys that are pushing our own ball of shit. But we kind of forget about it, we forgot about it. So this about the samsara, there is always this like forgetting about the samsara.
ඔව් මේ ජීවිතේ මේවා අමතක නම් ඉතින් සංසාරේ ගන්න මොකක්ද?
So now you know from, or we know from our experience, we forget things and even from this life.
ඒ නිසා
So then there is no, like if we cannot remember even this life things, there is no wonder that we forget about the samsara.
ඒක නිසා තමයි අකුසලයන් වලට අපි හැරෙන්නේ.
And because of that we turn towards the unwholesome.
ඔව්.
Because of this forgetting.
ගාක් සංසාරේ එනකොට කුසලයන් අඩුයි. අකුසලයන් තමයි වැඩි.
So if you consider the samsara, most of it is to do with unwholesomeness, very little is wholesome.
ඔව් මේක අපි මේ කුසලයන් ආරම්භණය කරන්න පුරුදු කරනවා ජීවිතේ.
So what we are trying to develop in our lives is making the wholesomeness our object or objective. It can mean up to objective.
ඔව් දැන් මේ අපි මේ දැන් මේ ස්ථානේ තියෙනවානේ. මේ එන්නේ මොකටද? දැන් මේ ආරම්භණයන් කරන්න පුරුදු කරන්න.
So if you say you come to a meditation center, you can in a way say we come here in order to practice or get used to this object.
ඔව් ඒකවල මේ අපි පුරුදු කරන්නේ කාය ආරම්භණයන්, වේදනා ආරම්භණයන්, චිත්ත ආරම්භණයන්, ධම්ම ආරම්භණයන් තමයි මුලදී පුරුදු කරගන්න ඕනේ වෙන්නේ.
So what we try to especially train here is using the body as the object, using the Vedana feelings or experiencing as an object, using the mind as an object, and using phenomena of mental concomitants as an object, especially in the beginning of the practice, getting used or getting the hang of practicing those as the objects is necessary.
හරියටම ආරම්භන කරන්න පුළුවන් වුණොත් මේ රූපේ ඒ රූපේ උද්දච්චය නැති වෙනවා.
So if you
නැත්තම් අඩු වෙනවා.
if you manage to practice or get the hang of the practice of the body as an object or using the body as an object, so either your kind of restlessness or scatteredness of mind gets reduced or is like temporarily removed completely.
උද්දච්චය කියන්නේ දන්නවනේ ඉතින් මේ සිත්පිරිතර වීමට ඒ දැකේ උද්දච්චය අයිමුනේ නැත්තම් නාකිකච්ඡාන් පස්සේ එන ප්‍රඥාවක් වුණා.
So actually with this restlessness or scatteredness of mind, if you don't train yourself beforehand to remove it or get out of it, when you get old, then it becomes a big issue.
ඒක හන්දනේ අද වයසට තදා වැඩි
A big problem.
බනිනවයි.
It's really troublesome. So as a result, elderly people, they are more angry, scold more people and other things.
ඒ ආරම්භණයන් පුරුදු කරන්නේ.
That is because they have not trained the object.
සම්මානයේ අකුසලයන් තමයි පුරුදු වෙන්නේ.
Or they have mostly, when they were younger, gotten used to some unwholesome object.
මේ රූපේ කෙරෙහි උද්දච්චය අඩු කරගත්තේ නැහැ.
And they have not managed to reduce the kind of restlessness in connection with the body.
වේදනාව කෙරෙහි උද්දච්චය දැන් පොඩි වේදනාවක් ආවම මිනිතර නම් බැලලා මහින්දට බැලලා කුතුම් බැලලා දැන් වැඩන්නේ ඒ උද්දච්චය ඉතින් අරගන්න දෙන්නේ ඒක පුරුදු කරන්නේ කුසලයේ තමනද.
So likewise for the feeling or experiencing, so if I experience a little bit of pain, then I scold then I am very cross with Mahinda and Dhammadeepa and our helping guy in the kitchen. I scold him and I am very cross with them. So that is because I have not trained myself to deal with the kind of restlessness in connection with feelings or Vedana and I have not managed to turn the feelings or experiencing into something wholesome.
ඔය ආරම්භන කරලා පුරුදු කරලා නැති නිසායි මේ අර ඔය තරහ ආරම්භ මේ රූපේ ගැන දන්නේ වේදනාව දන්නේ
It's basically because people are not practiced or have not practiced using the body, feelings and so on as objects or turning them into something wholesome. That's why people get angry and other things. Like when something is happening to the body or like pains or mind, people get irritated, angry and other things because they have not developed them as objects.
So මේ චිත්ත ගැන එන ධර්මතාවකින් විශේෂයෙන්ම ඒව ගැන කිසි අවබෝධයක් නැහැ.
So likewise, things to do with the mind, people have really no any understanding about those things. So the mind means mind states, and also by the inner workings of the mind and body, which is the Dhammanupassana. So people really don't have any understanding of those, and that is kind of. So if you never train in those, Lokam says it's like if you live up to 100, that means you have just managed to age 100 years but nothing else. So people are born with some level of ignorance, and after the number of years they live, they die, and unless they have practiced, they have probably just accumulated some unwholesomeness, or they die with kind of unwholesomeness on top of that ignorance they are born with.
Samatha vipassana-2022 භාවනා කියනවා.
So this word bhavana, in Sinhala really that same word is used for meditation, but this I call it bhavana level of practice is really called these two things, that is samatha and vipassana are called bhavana kind of practice. So it's not just happily enjoying staying somewhere.
Enjoy එකේ මෙහෙම කෙලින් ඉඳලා ඉන්න මේ එන්න ඕනේ මේ ලංකාවට එන්න ඕනේ.
So if you just want to sit straight back and with a kind of smiley face, enjoy just being, no, you don't need to come to Sri Lanka for that.
India can team.
There are places where you can go for that in India.
India
but you need to travel here and there a little bit in India to find those places.
India no?
So you have to find the places where they grow marijuana.
ගංජා වල මේ කාන්තාරක ගන්නවා පිටුනිකක් නැතුව.
So you need to find now these marijuana plants. Some of them are male and some of them are female. So you have to identify the female plant.
No, ඒවා මේ පොටලා වතුර දාන්න නැතුව ඉක්මාර ගන්නවා එලකිරිත් එක්කලා.
So you don't use the flower, I don't know, let's see, flowers for this, but nice leaves of the female plant. You cut them and using mortar and pestle grind them to a fine paste, kind of completely, and then mix them with milk, and when you have this female ganja smoothie, then you drink them.
That is bhang, Abdullah, bhang.
So this, now we know it's in Indian it's called bhang. Bhang, and you drink that. So then you can sit with very straight back. පැය ගානක් ඉන්න.
පැය ගානකට ඉන්නවා.
So you can stay straight back without moving for even number of hours after bathing.
ඉතින් එහෙම පුරුදු වෙච්ච අය මේ එදත් ඉන්නවා අදත් ඉන්නවා.
So Francis, people used to do this kind of thing even in those days, and they still do them to now.
ඉතින් ඒක භාවනා නෙමෙයි.
But that is not bhavana.
ඉතින් මේ මම මධ්‍යස්ථානයේ තරුණ කාලේ හදත් ඉන්නකොට විනීතර යුරෝපයෙන් ආරෙන්නේ එනවා මේ තරුණ කාන්තාව පිරිමි. පෙරක්කලට පොඩි මේ පින්දරයක් තියෙනවා. නිකන් ඒව ගානවා. එහෙම නැත්නම් ඒ ගාපුවාම ඇති ඒකේ ඉතල මේ තරේක.
ඒක ඇසිඩ් වගේ.
ඇසිඩ් වල වැඩි ලකුණු එකක් නෙවෙයි.
So no, Lokam says when he was in the next door center, because for you have not heard this story before, so when the Burmese monks came, this land, the next door land and many areas around, it was the original meditation center. But after sometimes the people who offered the lands, they took back the lands and they left only the next door center. So then the next everything was moved there, and later on people said now this land is available, let's save the place where the original center was, and then that's when this place started. But anyway, so when Lokamadu was there in the old meditation center with his teacher, that was the hippie time. So there were many young guys and ladies coming, and Lokam said they had just like small piece of something and they smear it on the body or just something. It sounds to me something like acid, where you have just something very small, and they are not, they have a trip for a long time. Some people smoke something.
Cheras.
Cheras. Mandan isin මේ ලංකාවට ඒ කාලේ තුඩු ගත්තා ඒව නැහැ ඒ කාලේ නැහැ
So those days actually there was like there were not really drug addicts in Sri Lanka. So anyway, so this venerable Yogavachara Rahula, he was one of those junkies, hippies that came to meditate there, but now he kind of had change of mind and became a monk and stayed a monk since then. So now he's a kind of well-known monk and teacher. So anyway, so back to the what is real bhavana practice. So the samatha part or the tranquility part of the bhavana practice is really about reducing or suppressing the hindrances. Through that one guy gains one pointedness. So this getting this unscatteredness is called Samatha Nirodha. It is like a cessation, or if I understand correctly,
හිත තැන්පත් කළා. නිවන්නේ නැතපත් කළා. ඒතකොට ඒකාග්‍රතාවයක් ආවා. ඒකාග්‍රතාවයෙන් ආපු මේ ඒකාග්‍රතාවයෙන් ආපු මේ එකගත්වයට ඒකට කියනවා ආය කෙලෙස් එන්නේ යටපත් වෙලානේ. ඒකට කියනවා සමත නිරෝධය කියලා.
So now the hindrances are reduced and the scatteredness of mind is also reduce or stops working. So because of that, this is called nirodha. Nirodha means cessation or not arising again. Here the non-arising or, or cessation refers to the scatteredness of mind. So then it's called like cessation of the tranquility practice.
Oh, vipassana.
Cessation within the tranquility practice.
දැන් විපස්සනාව තියෙනවා. විපස්සනාවෙන් කරන්නේ මොකද්ද? මේ තිරක්ෂණේ දකින්නවා.
So then this vipassana or insight practice, as this was explained yesterday, is about seeing or contemplating the three characteristics within this object.
ඔය ඒකෙන් අවිද්‍යාව දුරු කරනවා.
With that, ignorance is kind of removed.
ඒ අවිද්‍යාව දුරු කරන ඒ යෝග්‍යයට ලැබෙන මේ ධර්මතාවයට කියන අවිද්‍යාව දුරු කරන අනුපස්සනා කියලා. ඒ අනුපස්සනාවෙන් තමයි විපස්සනාව හැදෙන්නේ.
So this removing of the ignorance by seeing the characteristics within the objects is called anupassana, or in English translate contemplation or observing, and this actually refers to the what is called insight.
අනුපස්සනාවෙන් ගන්න නිරෝධයට කියනවා ආරම්මණය නිරෝධය වෙනවා. ඒකට කියන අවිද්‍යා නිරෝධයයි කියලා.
So there is again this non-arising or cessation of the object. Nirodha කියනවා අවිද්‍යාවද?
අවිද්‍යාව.
So here especially means this removing of the ignorance. So and that is the cessation or non-arising within the insight practice.
දැන් මේ අවිද්‍යාව විනිත නිවන්න එකක් කියනවා සංයෝජන එකක් කියනවා.
So Kamu says the ignorance is there together with both hindrances and fetters.
දැන් නිවන්න වල තියෙන අවිද්‍යාව තමතෙන් යටපත් කරන්න පුළුවන්. සංයෝජන වල තියෙන නිවන්නේ මේ විපස්සනාවෙන්මයි කඩාගන්නේ.
So the kind of ignorance that is there within the hindrances is possible to reduce or kind of නීවරණ වල අර ඒක තාවකාලික it's like temporarily stop it from functioning, this ignorance, by samatha practice. Because the hindrances are suppressed or reduced temporarily, so that the kind of ignorance that works together within the hindrances is temporarily reduced by the samatha practice. There is the other kind of ignorance that is there within the fetters. For that you need the insight practice. So, but both of them, there is the cessation or non-arising. One aspect of the cessation and non-arising is there in connection with the hindrances, and other aspect is there with the fetters. So because both aspects have to do with the cessation, because of that it is called yuganadha yoga together, like working on the same thing or something. So yesterday the talk was about it, and today also it's about this yuganadha, this yoga together practice.
භාවනා කරන යෝගියෝ ඉන්නේ. දැන් ආයතන භාවනා කරන එක්කන මේ ගෝචර වශයෙන් ආරම්භන ගන්නවා. ගෝචර ආරම්භන වශයෙන් ගන්නවා. ගෝචර වශයෙන් ගන්නවා. තමන්ට සුදුසු ආරම්භනක් වශයෙන් ගන්නවා.
Anyway, so this that was the explanation of the first point about object. So here the object once again were these sense basis and so on. So you take the experience like something within the experience things as the object. So that's the first thing. So another way of that happens to the yogis is taking it in terms of gochara, or I call it field of experience.
Resort, suitable resort.
Okay, so something like so. It's derived from pasture, like where the cows go for to get food. So lokams is like your suitable object or something like that.
ඔලම් නිවේතද මම කියලා මේ කේදාරෝමාන කාලන්තා කියලා තියාගෙනම කර භාවනාව. නිවේත දෙක ගෝචර නැහැ.
So let's say lokam might give me as my meditation object, contemplating the body parts, hair of head, hair of the body, and so on. But it might not be the kind of my field of experience or not suitable object for me. So it might be possible that in this example for me, what might be suitable field is feelings. So this is for that reason why the Buddha was giving to different people different teachings and different meditation objects. Because there everybody has different gochara or pasture. Where they get the suitable object. So then the rest of the explanation is basically same. So you get like object of your meditation through the gocharas, what is suitable for you.
So So through the like suitable object or field of experience, you get rid of this scatteredness of mind, which means the mind is now kind of one-pointed, and that is what is called the Samatha part of the practice. So, and once again, this cessation of the scatteredness of this scatteredness by gochara, by the like suitable objects, is the samatha practice, and likewise the vipassana, when through the suitable objective field, what works is the seeing impermanence, suffering and non-self. With that, again, ignorance is kind of removed or weakened or something like that. So that again is this cessation or non-arising, especially referring to ignorance, and that is gained by the suitable field of your experience, and that is the vipassana part of that. So, but both of them, the suitable object leads to nirodha, one in terms of non-scatteredness and one in terms of removing ignorance. So they work together, and because of that they are equivalent. I talk about this like knowingly because Lokko Hamdu explained to me in the morning. We had like about 20 minutes or so. So number 3 is pahana, usually translated as abandoned. So what is the thing that is abandoned, or like thrown away? මේ පහකල යුතු ධර්මතා ටික.
So there are some there are specific workings of the mind, like natural workings of the minds that are abandoned or thrown away.
ඔව් අපිට වැඩිම කාමච්ඡන්දේ ව්‍යාපාදේ තමයි තීන විස උද්දච්ච විවිධකමේ මේවා පහ කරන්න ඕන අයින් කරන්න ඕන.
So especially it's things like sensual desire, ill will, sloth and torpor and things like that are abandoned.
ඔය පහන වශයෙන් සිත පුරුදු කරලා මේ සිත පුරුදු කරනවා දැන් මොනවා හරි මේක මේ දැන් උගන්වන්නේ මේ let go කියලා කියන්නේ ඒ let go ම නෙවෙයි මං කියන්නේ let go කියලා මේ මෙන්නේ කිරීමේ ඒ අරමුණේ සිත පිළිගන්න නැති මට්ටමට එනවා.
So some people practice what they call letting go, and Lokan said it's not that. Right?
මෙන්නේ කිරීම ඇහෙනවා පේනවා මෙන්නේ කිරීමේ අයින් කරගන්නා වූ අරමුණ.
Is by like noting or acknowledging the object that the object is let go.
ඊට පස්සේ ඒක පුරුදු වෙලා දැන් මට
Or abandoned. Like you note it and with that it's abandoned.
මට ඒක උඟක් තරහා යන්නේ.
So Lokan says in the past they used to be extremely irritable and angry person.
සම්පූර්ණ නැතුනේ නෑ.
So that still has not been completely removed from him.
ඒක අනුවකිත නැතිව තව තියෙන 10ක්.
So Lokam supporters say now about 90% is now removed from him.
මේ බණ කියන එක නෙමෙයි. ඒ උදේ මාව දැක්කනම් ඕනේ.
Oh.
මම මිනිහෙකුට මොකදම කෑගහුවා.
Oh.
එහෙම දැක්කොත් මේ බණ කියන ආදු ඇත්තම නෑ මෙතන. මේ බණ කියන එක්කෙනා මේ පහන කතා කියන එක්කෙනා.
So the person that is now telling you, this monk that is now telling you about this abandoning of these things, yesterday morning completely disappeared when he was scolding someone. So there was like completely different person that was scolding someone.
එයා මෙතන නෑ දැන්.
Yeah, so that person is not here at all.
මේ බණ කියන එක්කෙනා එතන හිටියේ නෑ.
So the person that is the one that is telling you, giving you the Dhamma talk, and is here now, is completely different person to the one that was there yesterday morning. So at that point, there was no like reduction of hindrances, no samatha, no seeing of the impermanent suffering at all, and nothing. So there are still occasions like that. So now this abandoning happens in two ways. There is one abandoning that like is abandoned forever, and then there is abandoning which is like temporary. So again by abandoning those things, the mind is freed from scatterness. So like Lokamdu down has no kind of attachment or liking in connection with this metal box. So if anybody comes and takes it, there is no issue with that. So So Lokam does not care that it is actually useful for him or not. So there is like no attachment, or it does not do anything to Lokam's mind. There is no imprint of that in Lokam's mind. Oh. So Lokansas is like if Vinita throws away his own old robes, then he does not think about them at all
මොකද විනීත අලුත් හොඳ එක ලැබිලා තියෙනවා.
because he has now new ones. So then something like that.
ලැබුණ නැත්නම් විනීත ඒක අයින් කරන්නේ.
But if I don't get the new robes, I am not going to throw away the old.
මට ඒතකොට උද්දච්චය අයින් වෙලා තියෙන පහනේ. ඉතින් ඒ නිසා ඒ ආරම්භනේ ගන්න නැහැ.
So anyway, so this kind of restlessness or scatteredness of mind in connection with that particular object has been abandoned, and as a result, the mind does not take that object.
එහෙම මේ සමතේ මේ යටපත් කරලා කෙරේ.
So then there's like separation or reduction through the samatha practice.
ඒකකට එහෙම තිබුණු නිරෝධයක් තියෙනවා.
So again, and this is again this called samatha nirodha. This like
එහෙම අනිත්‍යයෙන් විගත සමාධියෙන් ඇතින නිරෝධයට කියනවා සමත නිරෝධයයි කියනවා.
So this kind of non-scatteredness acquired through this abandoning is called samatha nirodha, or this cessation within this tranquility practice.
එතකොට අවිද්‍යාව බදාගත එන කිලෙස් කියනවනේ. අර විදියමයි.
So then within the insight practice also abandoning happens, but through the insight of seeing the impermanence and so on.
එහෙම භාවනා කරන යෝගියාට අවිද්‍යාව අල්ලගෙන කරන්නේ. ඒකට අනුපස්සනාවේ යටපත් වෙන්නේ නිරෝධය.
So the ignorance that is there in connection with the object, thanks to the insight, is contemplating or seeing, observing things in terms of impermanence, suffering and non-self, is abandoned.
සමථ විපස්සනා දෙකෙන්ම නිරෝධ කරනවා.
So then that is called again this because the ignorance is abandoned through the insight practice. It's called this is called cessation within the insight practice. And so again this abandoning leads to two kinds of nirodha or cessation. One is of the scatteredness of the mind and one is of ignorance. And again the abandoning leads is this way the yoke together.
ප්‍රහාණ කරනකොට විනීත සමතේ සංහාවයි සංයෝජනයයි දෙකම යටපත් වෙනවා.
So with this abandoning, both craving as well as fetters are kind of suppressed or reduced.
එතකොට මේ සමතේ විපස්සනාවේ අවිද්‍යාවයි නීවරණයි ප්‍රහාණ කරනවා. දෙකේ වෙන දෙකයි.
And with the insight practice, Lokam says it's the ignorance and hindrances that are abandoned.
සමතේ මොනවද? තණ්හාවයි සංයෝජනයි. ප්‍රහාණය කරන්නේ. මේ සමත විපස්සනාවේ මේ අවිද්‍යාවයි නීවරණ ප්‍රහාණය කරනවා.
So this is kind of a bit different to what Lokhamdu said before. Is the other factors. Here it's almost the other way around. So here is the fetters and craving is abandoned, and that means temporarily abandoned and reduced through the tranquility practice, and through the insight practice, the ignorance and hindrances are abandoned.
කියනවා දැන් ඉතින් බැරි එකක් ගියව නතර කරනවා.
So
නෑ පාකිට
panas.
එන පරිත්‍යාග කියලා කියනවනේ.
So number 4 is parityaga, is like release.
පරිත්‍යාගය කියන්නේ මේ අපි මෙනෙහි කරනකොට මේ එන්නම නැහැ අපිට කෙලෙස්.
So when we note objects, some objects stop happening. So mind stops apprehending some objects because of the practice.
ඒකකින් ඒකාග්‍රතාවය කරලා සමාධියේ ඉතින් නිරෝධ වෙලා තියෙනවා. නිරෝධය කියන්නේ මේ පස්තිච්ච කතාවක්.
So again, so this, through this note,
පේන්නවත් නැහැ.
I don't know how to translate, but the word chaga normally means like generosity when you like openly give. So I think the idea is that something leaves your hand and nothing stays in the hand.
මේක විනිත් අතහැර දැමීම.
Oh,
ඒක තමයි පරිස්සය.
Oh.
මේ කෙනෙකුට දුන්නේ නැහැ.
oh, okay.
ඒ අතහැරලා දාපු.
So here it really refers to it leaves the hand and never once it leaves your hand, it's out of your hand completely.
එහෙම අතහැරලා
This
තියෙන
kind of releasing. So as you know, some objects they are released. The objects they are released like that, and the mind is not agitated.
ඒක
at all.
විපස්සනා නෙන්නේ. සමතෙන් ඉස්කන්ධයන් දෙවි ඉස්කන්ධයන්.
So now this again. Be careful what the next thing is. So now about the aggregates. Each of the aggregates, because of the noting practice and this release, they leave the hand of your experience, so to say. They kind of stop being an issue completely.
ඔව් ඒකත් කෙලෙතන මේ නිවන්න කියලා තියෙන්නේ. කෙලෙන හිත කෙලෙන දේවල් අතහැරලා දාපුවාම අතහැරලා ගන්න ඉන්නවා. ඉස්සන්ද. එහෙම අතහැරීම තමයි සමතේ කියලා කියන්නේ.
So this so this kind of agitation or scatteredness of mind about the rupa vitaraya, it is all of the five aggregates. Because of the noting practice, they become like released. So the mind stops like worrying about them in a way. So then this is the release that causes the non-scatteredness, and that is again the nirodha or cessation within the tranquility practice of the relinquishing or releasing.
එයා උද්දච්චය අතපත් තියෙන්නේ. එයා උද්දච්චය ඉන්දියට එනවා. හරිම උද්දච්චය ආගම්බරයි. මොනවද ඉතින් භාවනාවේ නොදන්න දෙයක් නැහැ. කතා කරන්න බෑ ඒකත් එක්ක. උත්තර දැනුම් විශේෂයක්. මාපි නෙමෙයි.
So now Lokam says there are some people that have attained something like this, and they have so high knowledge about everything, it's impossible to talk with them.
ඒක සමතෙන් යටපත් කළා. ඒ සමතෙන් යටපත් කරපු ස්කන්ධයන් සමතෙන් යටපත් කරලා ගත නිරෝධය ඒකට කියනවා සමතෙන් යටපත් කරපු.
So Lokam says this is like if people manage to get this cessation or non-arising within the tranquility practice, where they kind of release the five aggregates. So if this is very strong, like the practitioners manage to attain strong level of this one, they are kind of unapproachable.
ඒකම අවිද්‍යාවෙන් කරන අවිද්‍යාවෙන් කරන්නේ.
But that this like you cannot tell them anything or something because of this, so that means there is still ignorance.
මේකේ කියන්නේ අවිද්‍යාවෙන් ඉපදෙන කෙලෙස්ටි. ඒ අවිද්‍යාව ඉපදෙන කෙලෙස් යටපත් කරන එක තමයි විපස්සනාව කියන්නේ.
So because the kind of defilements that work together with ignorance, for that you need insight practice. So now again within the insight, this releasing happens through the insight. So that again is the three anupassana that is. So and this, when this releasing happens through the observation or contemplation of the three characteristics, That is called the cessation within the insight practice.
Amen.
That is attained through the release.
මේක මේ දෙකම පුරුදු කරනවා සමතේ විපස්සනා.
And because both of them through the releasing lead to kind of cessation, once again they are called the Yuganadha and they are practiced together.
එහෙනම් තේරුම් ගන්න නේ.
Anyway, may you be protected by the triple blessing.
සත්‍ය සත්‍යය. එතනට අනේ මයින්ඩ් එකයි මේ වගේ නැත්තම් කියන්නේ.
So Lokram says we